Hi, everybody. It's Janet, and we're here at Fruit of the Vine Art Studio in Cincinnati, Ohio. Thank you so much for joining me here tonight. I really appreciate you being here with me. Love it when you hop on. If you just say, hey, tell me where you're watching from. It's always fun to see where people are from and how far out it reaches. So tonight we're going to do something, you know, the last couple of times we've been together, I've painted. And each time it's taken me a bit over 2.5 hours. I've painted today earlier, working with the therapeutic art class. So this evening, I'm wanting to do something just sort of simple and quick. And that's not going to take a lot of your time or mine for the evening. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some scrapbook paper. I've got this lovely Day of the Dead scrapbook paper book here that's got all these different designs in it. And I found some pretty purple paper that I really like. And I thought, well, I'm going to use this really pretty paper, purple paper here. I'm going to use this paper. You can see it's got these gold skulls and this design on it, and it's really pretty. I'm going to use this paper to cover these earrings right here. Now, usually when I'm doing something like this, I'm usually using napkins. So if I'm using napkins, I'm going to first paint this white because when you use the napkins, even though this is a really light color wood, it's very noticeable on the napkin because the napkin's such a thin layer. Now this is thicker, much thicker than a napkin, so it's not going to show through. I am going to use a piece of parchment paper. I've got my Mod Podge here. I'm using the glossy Mod Podge. I've got my hoop jumps, or my jump hoops, and my earring holders here, the hooks. A couple little needle nose pliers that I'm going to have. I'm going to need something to poke through the hole here, and I don't think that I brought up... Let me see. That would probably work. Yeah, that goes straight through the hole, because that's what I was thinking. Something's going to have to be able to go through the hole here. Oh, that's even better. I don't know, that's a little more pointed. That might get it to tear easier than trying to poke a hole with a rounded tip. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pencil, and I'm going to put this down on this backside, and I'm just going to draw around it. Oh, maybe I am, if I can find a pencil here. Here's one. Got so many things around me, but it's never really what I'm looking for. You know, not the way it is. It doesn't matter what it is. It's not what you're looking for right now. Okay, I'm just going to draw around the outside of this real quick. Using my pencil. I'm going to get 4 pieces of it. I'm going to leave it just a little bit with space in between. Leave a little bit of space in between. And one more. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put Mod Podge on this wood and let it dry. Now, I may not need to let it dry. This paper is pretty thick. I might be able to just lay this paper directly down on here. Maybe that's what I'm going to do. It is pretty thick. So I better probably cut this out first. Let's do that first. And I'm cutting it slightly larger. You know, I probably don't need to do that. Let me just trim it down. Just make it easier. to be able to see my line. I want to be on the outer part of the line, not on the inside of it. Getting just a little big. And I do have a piece of sandpaper so I can go around the edges of it to give it a good smoothing. So first let's work on this one side here. We're going to put some Mod Podge on. Let me open this up. Get just a little Mod Podge out here. I'm just going to put it right on this side. Get these little scrappy pieces of paper away from me. Never fails, you have something like that laying around, and the next thing you know, that's stuck up underneath it. So yeah, just get that out of here. Okay, I'm just going to sit that there. Wipe off my fingers. I don't want it to rub it on my pants. Smart. I don't want it to get on the front of it. Get it placed just right. I have my piece of parchment paper. I only need a little piece of it. I've already got my iron set and it's heating up. We're not using steam. Okay. Just gonna press it on there. Let me see, is it? Oh, it's pressing that out. Okay. Just wipe that off on the side. This is an experiment, guys. This is the first time I've ever tried to press a piece of scrapbook paper on wood. You know, I do napkins, thin things like that. Hey, Steve, thanks for commenting. I appreciate that. But this is a little bit different, and I'm trying to make sure I'm getting it right for you here. Now, I did get glue on the other side, so maybe we won't use that piece again. Let's put it back over here, and I'm going to press it a little bit more. I might have had a little too much glue there, guys. I just want it to stick to it real good. Yeah, we might have pressed a little more. That's all right. I can see it's just a little bit big down here at the bottom. Is it all the way up to the top? Yeah, it looks like it's covering all of the wood. So I'm just going to trim right around this edge. Let me get this one a bit. And then we're going to let this one sit for a second. But you can see it stuck it on there real good. We'll work on this one. First things first. Let's cut it out. Get that out of the way. Don't get too close to the line. Okay. Let's Following the same process, just get a little bit of Mod Podge. Last time I think we used just a bit too much. So, not quite as heavy-handed this time. I do want it to be completely covered, though. I want all of it to, I want it to stick on there. And be walking around with a half an earring hanging off or something crazy looking, you know. I want it to stick on there. Wipe it off around the bottom right here. Place this right on the top of it. I'm going to hold it down for just a second to help it just get itself started. This one come out a little bit. This one's rather big too. Okay, well, let's push this over that way. And a little more back this way. Not like that. Okay. Put our parchment paper over the top of it. I'm just going to press it down for a few seconds. Oh, shoot, I moved it. Let me scoot it back before it gets... Well, it moved. It did. I got it back on there. Oh, wait a minute. A little too much. Scooch over. Scooch over this way a little bit. Come on. Come on, daggone ya. Okay. Now let's try that again. And this time I'm not going to move it. I'm just going to place it on there. That one turned out pretty good. Okay. Well, this one scoot over just a little bit anyway. Can I scoot it back just a little? Well, maybe we'll make that the back side. Okay. I need to trim it right there. And then before we do anything else with these, the next thing we need to do is poke our hole. So... let me get that one. And get that one. And then I'm going to go from the front back. Okay. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can. You can see the hole in there. And you can see this one scoot over just a little bit too far. But that's okay. You can see the hole in that one too. That's okay that that scoot over a little too far. We're going to just be better on the front side of this one. Flip them over. And quite frankly, I didn't think you'd even notice it from a distance in the first place. Somebody had to be right up on that earring to see that it's not exact. And who's going to do that? Well, you never know. People are strange. When you're a stranger, huh? All right, I'm just cutting this out. Sometimes I wonder what it would be like to be a right-handed person to where you would, I don't know, I think it would be totally different using my scissors. As far as maybe seeing where I'm trying to cut. I don't know, when you right-handed people are cutting, can you see the line real easy? Because for me, it's hard. It's like I'm cutting over the top of it. I can't see it. Okay, that needs a little trim. With a little peaked down there at the bottom, and that's not the look we're going for. Excuse me. Let's get a little bit of Mod Podge on the brush. Now this one we're going to try to get set on here a little more even. all the way up to the edges, all the way up to the top. Okay. And then maybe I'm gonna just set it on here a second. Just kind of press it down a little bit. Put it on there. Try not to move it. That one looks pretty good. Funny, I probably should turn it this way. It would make so much more sense since that's the way it's shaped. Who knows? Did you stick down there? Ooh, wonder what caused that. But it didn't hurt it. Main thing that's important. Didn't hurt it. We'll set you over here to cool down. That's hot. That's hot. Alright. Cut this one out. And then we're ready to start making earrings with it. Instead of just decorated discs, because that's actually what we're making right now, is a decorated disc. But we're going to get our little jump hoops out and earring hooks and hook them up. Let me just get that a little bit. Okay. Get that out of here, scrap stuff. A little bit more Mod Podge. I don't know what that was, but I could see something on there, so I'll scratch that off. Hold this up where I can see what I'm doing in the lights here. Okay, that looks like it. Put that in the water, put the lid on this. I haven't used my Mod Podge in a little bit. It's about time to get it back out, wasn't it? Hadn't done a Mod Podge craft in quite a bit. You know, sometimes you got to come up with some stuff, and it's like, well, I want to do something. I want to do something fun. I'd like to do something that doesn't take too long. And something that's going to be useful. I love doing the paintings. They turn out, you know, I mean, the paintings are so much fun, but it just takes so long. Takes so long, guys. Well, what it is I kind of, I guess, like, I just want to keep fixing things and changing stuff and see a little something else I'd like to do to it. And it's like, just stop. It's time to stop now. Okay. Let me put that on there. And we'll just lightly hold it here. Oh, don't keep moving. Here we go. Give it about 10 seconds. Somewhere around there. Kind of help dry out the glue a little bit and stick it quicker. See, now right now it says slow connection. I don't know what that does or how that affects what you see. So, tell me when you're watching this video, did something happen? Did it glitch? Did it break up? Freeze up? Did it do anything at all? Because it says slow connection, and it's like, well, should I worry about that? As long as it's broadcasting, do I need to worry that it's a slow connection? You know, I don't know. Yeah, turn that thing off. Okay, let me, ooh. Don't want it to stick. Yeah, you don't want to leave it on that craft paper long. It's hot and it wants to stick to the paper, but that's okay, that worked, that came done. I'm going to unplug this, just so I don't forget. Unplug that. Okay, now let's get this up here. Look at this again. Let's work with you, you're a lot cooler. Okay, the hole's somewhere around here. I can figure it out by doing this. Can I? Is that not small enough to go through now? Right there. Okay. Now we got the hole on it on both sides. See how it looks on the sides? It's a little, you can see the paper's just a little bit big on the edges. So before I hook it up, I'm going to work on that. Let me put this in through here. Push it down through there. There we go. Take this little piece of sandpaper. Just kind of go around the edges a bit. And then you think, what is that doing? Well, I'm going to show you here in just a second. Let me get this side done. Now, I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to see this. It put a little bit of white around the edges when I did that. See how it kind of made it white right around the edges? Hi, Jessica. Can you see the pattern there? I don't think that one even has a single skull on it. This one's got the oh, that didn't work out good then, did it? This one's got both of the skulls on it. On this side and that side. But this one didn't get a skull. But that's okay, it's still got the pretty pattern on it. But that would have been cooler if it would have had a skull on each side. Oh well. That's alright. We're just going to go around the edges of this to put that white pattern on there. Kind of remove just a little bit of the edge of the paper is really what it's doing. It's got glue come out the edge, so I gotta peel that off now. Here. do it that way. You don't want to get it too much on the top because then it'll take all the color off of your scrapbook paper and it'll just be plain paper again. Because remember, you know, scrapbook paper is basically just printed paper. Okay. It's got the white on this one, then maybe a little more right here. That looks pretty good. That's just a little big right there, so we're just going to take it all the way off around that edge. Okay. And you can kind of see how it's, oh wait a minute, what's this little raggedy thing? Across the bottom. It's got the white around the edge on it there. Alright. Smooth that down just a little bit. That looks good. Fold this up. Next thing you're going to need is 2 jump hoops. What is a jump hoop? That's just what they call them. I'm going to put it on here so you can actually see it. And it's basically a little gold ring is what it is that's opened at the top. It's not completely closed. Let me get it. I don't think it's gonna. You can see it's opened at the top. So we're gonna take this, get out the hook, an earring hook. Then you want to look at these and decide which side you want to be the front. This is going to be the front of this one. So you're going to put the hoop, your jump hoop, through here, the hole that you made in the earring. Go on now. Don't be giving me no trouble. I'll give you trouble. And then you want to make sure that your hook, that's going to turn it sideways. You need 2. Go ahead and close the one that's on your earring hook. You're going to need 2 in order for it to hang proper. If you only use 1, it's going to hang sideways and you're only going to see the sides of those earrings. And that's not at all what we're hoping to do. So using your little needle nose plier, you just push that little jump ring together. Going to take the second one, put it through there, through the first one that you just put together, the one that you just did. I might have to scoot you guys up to show you the next one, how I'm doing this. Okay, so now we've got 1 ring already put through it, and we're hanging the second little jump ring on there. We're going to get our earrings, our earring hook, face this towards the front, since this is going to be the front of our earring. And then you kind of just press this together. But you also got to kind of squeeze it just a little bit. Or somehow they always manage to undo themselves. Okay. Here's this earring hanging from the front. Maybe should have turned it the other way. think I should have, because that one's got the... It doesn't matter. We're just looking at the pattern. We're just looking at the pattern anyway. Okay. I think you make a prettier front. So we're just going to pop this through the hole. Oops. Here, let me zoom you in so you actually see what I'm doing right here, instead of me being so far away. I'm going to take this little ring here that's opened at the top, and I'm going to put that through this hole. Maybe I am. That's the plan. Just like that. And then you just take your needle nose pliers. Wait a minute, you're nowhere near here. I put it through there. And I take my needle nose pliers and I just push these together. Just like that. And then it makes the ring kind of close. And I kind of tweak it just a little bit. Okay. Then we're going to take another ring. Put it through that ring. Get our little hook. Put this ring through that ring. Take our hook. Put it on. Put both of them, just put both of them down in your hand, out of the way. Get the one little ring up here. We're just going to squeeze it together. Now here we have it. There's our scrap paper earrings. Purple with gold on top of them. With a gold pattern. I know it's really hard to... There, that's better. Now you can kind of see the pattern better. There we go. Now I actually see it. They're purple. They're more the color of this one over here. That light's real odd right there. It's more this purple. Maybe if I move them a little. There we go. That's our earrings, guys. How quick and easy was that? Just a little bit of Mod Podge, and you wouldn't even have to use that iron. I just did that so it would dry quicker. You could just make sure that they were pressed down real well. Let them sit and completely dry. Use your sandpaper right around the edges to give it that pretty little white outline that's on there. Push them back down here. Get all my little hoops out of the way. You know, you can see the pretty little white around the edges of it from where I used the sandpaper on it. It just takes a little bit of the color off of the edge, right at the edge of your scrapbook paper. Gives it a little more of a finished look. But there we have it. They're done. Oh, thank you, Jessica. I appreciate that. All right, guys. I'll see you again on Saturday. Bye-bye.